بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. In the pursuit of knowledge, there's many things that we need and we require. We need to have taqwa, we need to have adab, we need to have many things. One of the main fundamentals and very important thing that we need to have is sabr. What does sabr mean in Arabic? Habsun nafs. Basically, you control and you focus your self and your attention and your desires on one thing. So, for example, you have sabr is what? It's when he passes away. You lose some wealth, you have a musibah, car accident. Instead of letting your nafs just get really frustrated and start wailing and complaining and swearing, you keep yourself under control. That's habsun nafs. Yes? When you want to disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you do sabr. How? You keep yourself away from disobedience. That's why the three types of sabr. Sabr al musibah. When there's a musibah, what do? You keep yourself under control. When there's what? Ma'siyah, you keep yourself away from the ma'siyah. And sabr ala ta'ah, when there's obedience, you keep yourself on the obedience. So basically focusing your nafs, keeping yourself under control. So even for knowledge, when you acquire knowledge, you have to have sabr. What does that mean? Is that you have to be able to understand that in this path of knowledge, there's going to be sacrifices you have to make. And that sacrifice can vary in different ways. So for example, in the past, or in people in places where affluence is not that much, wealth is not that much, or the material things are not there. They go through poverty, books are not available, they don't have pens, they don't have light, they're traveling. In the past, have those things, travel so much. So you have to sabr on that. Be patient, go through difficulty, bear the hardship, traveling like miles in the desert. That's sabr. Yes? People can't afford, don't have books. So sabr is being, we have to be very patient, copying out of the book exactly from the teacher's notes, copying it out. That's sabr. Sometimes nowadays we have what? We have books available, printed books, we have carpet, we have everything is available. There's no difficulty in terms of the physical difficulty. But it's still sabr needed. What is sabr that you need? Is that you mentally have sabr. And you understand that things will happen which I do not like. And you have to keep this in mind. In everywhere you go. Whether it's in life as well, but particularly not in regard to knowledge. That things will happen despite the person in front of you being however good they are. However good it is, you will have things that you do not like. And if you want to acquire knowledge, you have to, as long as within reason, don't like, somebody's abusing you or taking advantage of you, that's different. But within reason, you have inconveniences, you have to bear them. If not, you will not be able to acquire knowledge. You'll not be able to acquire knowledge. You might say, well, and if you have this feeling like, anything that goes wrong, you get frustrated. Anything that doesn't go according to plan, you get frustrated. You will then lose what? You will not be able to acquire knowledge. Because let me give it, it's so many times. Before a person, and I can tell a person right now that doesn't matter who you are, how good the madrasa is, before you enter madrasa, everybody throughout the year will face some kind of thing where they get upset that this wasn't right. It's obvious. Let me give some example. Let's say, everybody look forward tomorrow. I said, Abdullah, tomorrow you look forward. You spent 1 hour reading. She comes to class, I got a bit late. Or we're behind the syllabus. Abdullah read one line, I said, okay, very good, you know it, I'll go ahead. You get upset that I spent the whole 2 hours trying to prepare the lesson. Teacher heard one line and has learned the whole page and he never listened to it. How is the teacher supposed to know that you spent 2 hours learning it, you preparing it? It's going to happen. You're following? If you can get upset, I say, well, I frustrated. You're going to get put off of it. Yes? Teacher, you have a very good question. She doesn't understand the question. Teacher might say, no, that's not what it is. They don't understand the question. Or your question might generally be nothing. If you get upset that the teachers didn't really get attention to my question or they didn't understand, you're gonna. So you have to prepare. When you want to study knowledge, you have to prepare that jafal mu'allim. You have to prepare that the mu'allims, even if not even intent, even if they are being harsh up front, you have to bear that. That's only acquire knowledge. Yes? Like opposite all the time. You're not reading correctly, they get told off all the time. Told off meaning, read it again. Read it again. You're not reading properly. Read better. Why? So that's how you're going to get better. Yes? You always have to understand that this is a path, is not acquired. Ilm is not acquired. That's why what's the famous saying? يَحْصُلُ بِظُلِّ إِذْ الْعِلْمُ عِزٌّ لَا ذُلَّ فِيهِ. Ilm is izzah, honor. Is full of honor. But the honor doesn't come at the beginning. Honor comes in the hereafter. The honor comes later on in life. يَحْصُلُ بِظُلٍّ لَا عِزَّ فِيهِ. You have to acquire this knowledge with what? Humility. By lowering yourself. And there's no izzah when you acquire knowledge. If you get told off, okay, we're not telling anybody what I'm saying genuinely. If you get told off, if something goes against your wishes, even in exams, like, you know what? If you get marks, didn't mark it incorrectly, miss a mark out, so it doesn't matter. Alhamdulillah, I've understood it, and I think the mistake is here in the marking. I'll do sabr. Out of adab, we should not even go and complain to the teacher that I think I made a mistake. I think I made a mistake here in the marking. Out of adab, that's why it should be that. I think I could tell that it was daraba Zaydun Amran, and I wrote Amran as Mansub is right. Obviously, she didn't make this mistake, but as an example, and I know I wrote Amran, teacher wrote it wrong, and it's still Mansub is right. I think even when the teacher is correcting it in a class, it's all right. Teacher made a mistake. It was okay. I stay quiet. That's how much adab we should. It's okay. It's all right. I've learned it. I'm happy. Have the sabr, istibar. That's why the ulama used to say that you have to have اغتراب كاغتراب الغراب. You know, crows early in the morning set out. Early in the morning set out. Why? So set out early in the morning, like a student. Before Fajr you set out. And then sabr كصبر الحمار. What does a donkey do? Just toils all day long. Toils all day long. So you should have to toil all day long. If you toil, continue working, continue striving, then you will get this. Even sabr in terms of results. In terms of results. Now, I can't say anything. Sometimes, again, people come into a course thinking that I'm going to join this course and we're going to, every day it's going to be some mind-boggling new information which is going to be like, give me an adrenaline burst. That's not how ilm is acquired. Sometimes you have those kind of things. It's acquired shay'an for shay'an, bit by bit, bit by bit, bit by bit. Sometimes in a class it's like, okay, very little, it's just very standard. And after a while you get used to it. So it's not gonna. But if we look at the beginning, you say, wow, we came really far. A few days we get, wow, today was a really good lesson. But normally after every lesson, you don't go back thinking, wow, I'm dazzled with today's lesson. It's not a YouTube short where you get dazzled every 30 seconds. Yes? But what happens, it's a cumulative effect. Building up slowly by slowly, your knowledge builds up. You get grounding in Arabic, you get grounding in Nahwa, grounding in Sarf, and the Balagha part fits in, you learn something, and as you go along it becomes the Quran, you get Seerah, you get Tafsir, you get Fiqh, you get Hadith, everything builds up. So if you have to have istibar, also in this aspect, that yes, everything will come slowly. Yes, another thing you have to do is have istibar in sabr. Sabr, how? That trust the system, that is how it's going to be, and it will take time. Every book has its purpose, and give every book its full attention. There's one hashia in one of the books of hadith by Allama Sindi rahmatullahi alayhi, and it's like he spent like 3-4 lines trying to explain it, and if he had used a mantiq term, he could explain it in one thing. So if that's why Allama Qaisidi rahmatullahi alayhi, he was talking about mantiq coming at next thing, because if you know mantiq, you can solve it in 2 things. Now what happens? Oh, mantiq's boring, I don't like it, I don't enjoy it. So then how you don't understand the hashia. The teacher will say this is hypothetical syllogism, and this is affirming, this is negating the premise or negating the muqaddam. That doesn't make the tali is muthbat or manfi. You finish. Even Allah, there's one place in Allama ibn Hisham rahmatullah alayhi, law li'imtina' harf imtina' li'imtina'in. He tries to explain this and he goes so long to explain it. And if he just had the same thing in mantiq, he would have solved it no problem. Like 2 seconds, he could solve it in 2 seconds, in 2 lines. But because he didn't use a mantiq term, or the students didn't know the mantiq term, he goes on and on and on. So it's a great nahwi. But in here, they didn't say it was very long. Somebody said, okay, sarf is boring, you have to go over and over, repetition of the verbs. But if you don't know the harf, you want if I say, ara'ina is from ru'una, is it from mura'at? You're buzzing, you don't know what's going on. It's simple examples. So you have to do istibar. A science may not seem important right there and then, but it all adds up. It all adds up. So what you need to do, you need to study. So one form of sabr as well is to understand that every subject has its part to play. Literature, it's like, oh, so many vocabulary. Why? Because if you know vocabulary, then you don't have to translate. When it comes to Jalalain, you'll be able to just read and understand the main parts. When it comes to a hadith book, you'll be able to read it and understand. You won't have to stop. You wouldn't say, oh, I'm sure I can't understand. You can't translate everything into the higher books. So if you spend muntakhabat literature properly and the literature properly, when it comes to familiar with the lugha, you can just read slowly, and as you read along the hadith, one word needs explaining, one word needs explaining, one word needs explaining. You can't translate everything. And if you don't understand it, just reading, you haven't got a clue what's going on. So you have to go through every single book in the syllabus. Do sabr on that. If you like it, you don't like it. And that's when you make progress. So this is a message for the students who are currently here, and inshallah for the website as well, for the students who are planning to join. You have to have sabr in all aspects. That you have to, number one, understand that you're joining an institute. It's not, no institute is an Amazon. The only institute you can be happy with is Amazon. That's the only institute I can be happy with. Just phone them wherever you probably have, they solve it for you, because they've got billions. Every other institute, every other thing, they have some kind of problem. Our madrasas are very lowly funded. So and we're dealing with multiple types of people. It's not just yes, no answers. You're dealing with people. What will happen sometimes is the rules that you subscribe to, the madrasa wants to improve every single year. So the current set that we have, next year is going to change. I don't know what's going to change, but we'll just see something. You know what? This is not working for the students. Or if we add this in, this is going to make this should make the madrasa better. So therefore, we're going to add it in. And obviously, when we add a new rule, we change something, 10% of the people are going to make an inconvenience automatically. But it's worth inconveniencing 10% of the people or 20% of the people if you're going to make the other 80% much better. Yes, so you have to accept that there will be things. Exam may come, you prepared for one thing, you didn't come in an exam. Some of the exam structure might change, pass mark might be adjusted, something might be added in, because why? We're always trying to get better. So you have to understand that nothing is perfect. There are going to be things. Nobody's trying on purpose to say we're evil people, let's rule our dictatorship over the plebs. It's like we're all together here trying to do what? Become better. And as things go on, you have these changes. And if you have the sabr and you're able to say, well, adapt to changes, adapt to difficulties, hardship. And our hardship is not like the hardship of the ulama before, in terms of poverty, in terms of not having books available, not in terms of having pens, not in terms of lighting. Our it's basically mental, emotional. That just whatever difficulties come about, we carry on. And that's how you acquire. And if you don't have that, you think, no, every little thing is annoying, everything little thing that you get frustrated with, you will not acquire knowledge. You understand? So for the students who intend of joining, and also we have right now, let's keep this in mind and make dua that Allah gives us sabr. That's why when I went to Madrasa, when I first went to Madrasa, my mom, she went to visit her dad, he was a Maulana as well. So he said, make dua. My mom said, I'll make dua for him that he does this. He said, make one dua. Make one. Allah give him sabr. Now I understand what he means. He said, my mom's dad, rahimahullah, he passed away. He said, make dua that Allah give him sabr. And he said, sabr ma bad dua vijay. If you say sabr, and Allah give him sabr, everything is included for talib al-ilm. So this is the sharaf, his dua that he made, I don't know, about 25, 23, 24 years ago. Do you understand? So sabr, make dua for sabr, and have sabr in talib al-ilm, and Allah will, inshallah, make it easy for us to acquire knowledge. Subhanallah wa bihamdi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, wa nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.